Once again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to Yash and Dr. Neelam. I'll introduce Yash. Yash is adept at team leadership, and he's a well-versed person in fostering effective communication and engaging critical thinking to tackle any difficulty. Apart from having a knack in international relations, Yash is an extremely talented musician. He is committed to curating and enriching experience that celebrates creativity, innovation, and problem-solving prowess. A well-known name in the North Indian MUN circuit, Mr. Yash Agrawal is ready to steer the conference towards success, inspiring attendees to embrace new ideas and forge meaningful connections. He's been associated with multiple NPOs in the past. We welcome you, Yash, to the Changemaker20 Summit, and thank you so much for taking time out to moderate this fireside chat with Dr. Neelam. I would request you to now introduce her and take the session forward. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for that introduction. Good morning, good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yash Agrawal, and today I'm here for a fireside session with Dr. Neelam Gupta, the president and founder of AROH Foundation. So, Dr. Neelam Gupta, a catalyst for transformative social change, leads as the president and CEO of AROH Foundation. Right. Just a second. In 2001, ignited by her resolute commitment to effect positive change, she established AROH Foundation, championing education, skill development, sustainable livelihood, health, and sanitation. Through her holistic approach, AROH has touched the lives of over 10 lakhs individuals, bridging societal gaps while earning national and international acclaims. Dr. Gupta, acclaimed for her compassionate hands-on approach, ethical values, and innovative use of technology for transparency, is a beacon of transformation, aligning AROH's endeavors with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and propelling a brighter future for India. Furthermore, Dr. Neelam Gupta's unyielding dedication to social betterment has garnered an impressive array of accolades, including the World Women Leadership Award and the prestigious Urja Samman. Her outstanding contributions have magnified AROH's foundation impact, shaping her into an influential change maker and visionary leader. We welcome you, ma'am. So, the topic for today's session is women empowerment across different states in India through support programs and interventions, which will be followed by a fireside session with Dr. Neelam Gupta, ma'am. So, now I would like to present this space to Dr. Neelam Gupta, ma'am, to present the views. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Yash. First of all, let me thank Changemakers20 Summit for inviting me to this very prestigious forum to share my thoughts with you all. And I also extend a very warm welcome to the, all the audience who are listening to me. And, we are gathered here to discuss women in Indian economy, women empowerment, and how far they've been participating in the growth of a country under SDG 5, which is gender equality and women's empowerment. So as you know, there's an old saying that the best measure of a nation's progress is the way it treats its women. For centuries, women have faced challenges and hurdles that has bestowed on them infinite patience, perseverance, and have only helped them emerge stronger. Over the past few decades, women working professionals have worked assiduously with their talent, dedication, and enthusiasm, adding to their nation's growth and development. Yet, you will be surprised to know in India, only 18.6% of working age women are participating in the labor force, 3 times lower than men, which is revealed by the Labor Force Survey 2020. And according to World Bank, also women's participation in formal economy is amongst the lowest in the world. Only parts of Arab world fare worse than India. So we have a long, long way to go, long road to cover before we can get the women in economy, women in development, and women participating in development. Women yet their participation is low, but you will also see that paradoxically they are heavily engaged in work 24/7. Women are working. There is unpaid work which is not recognized and valued. And there was a report by McKinsey which said that just by offering equal opportunities to women, India could add US dollars 770 billion to its GDP by 2025. So that's the kind of growth we can look at if we engage with women and if we involve women in all the development programs. So, ARO Foundation, inevitably has been focusing on this aspect of women empowerment. Being the founder of ARO, a leading NGO of India, ARO itself stands for, ascending notes of music, a ray of hope, and which includes the women majorly in all its programs across all our programs in remote regions of India wherever we work. We ensure that women are central to our development programs, and taking forward not only the national agenda but also the 2030 agenda of sustainable development goals, goal 5 in particular, by addressing women, women in development and causes, working for causes for women. We've been working throughout, majorly for women-oriented programs, and especially, we've been for more than 2 decades now. We've been working on breaking down barriers, challenging stereotypes, ensuring that women have equal access to opportunities, equal access to resources, and the decision-making power for women. Also, more than anything else, we are ensuring that women have their freedom of choice and action, which unfortunately, that's the major problem that, especially in countries like India and especially in Indian hinterlands, in UP, Bihar, there are areas, there are pockets where women have no freedom of choice. So RO works on that, and our approach especially is to address these challenges, to address the barriers that women have. So to address all these issues, right from the beginning, when RO was started in 2001, we had taken a holistic approach to women's empowerment through all our development programs, and we also call it a life cycle approach. You will know that would have seen that women have been disadvantaged right from birth, even before birth. How, I'll just explain a bit. When the women, when women know, or the families know that there is a girl child, you know being going to be born, it's in the womb. We call it a womb to tomb story for a woman. Right from womb, when they start knowing that it's a girl child, first reaction is, oh God. And if the family has had one or two more girls before her, then so she's doomed. Then there is such a condolence meetings are held practically. So they don't want a girl child. Though the systems are changing, and especially in urban areas, people are more now accepting the girl child as option that God has given. But then, her problem, the apathy starts at that level, when they know that a girl child is going to be born. So RO starts taking care of the family issues of the mothers, of the females in the family, right at that stage. They should be given proper nourishment, nutrition, when the in maternal care is of supreme importance for the mother, especially when the girl child is being born, and we ensure that there are no fetal distresses, there is no, killing of the fetus, or, all those things. We have to ensure that there is a safe pregnancy when a child is being born. And after the child is born, then taking care of that newborn infant, especially when it's a girl child, giving her equal, nourishment, giving her nutrition, giving her the same amount of care, and as a boy gets in the family, same amount of care and nourishment and nutrition. So that becomes of paramount importance, because the initial years of are very, very important to keep good health for the child in later years of life. So we ensure that she gets her nourishment, the woman gets fed properly, mother gets fed properly, and child too. So both mother and child are taken care of. We also engage with a lot of government schemes like Poshan Abhiyan, and give them the feed proper nourishment throughout the breastfeeding years, throughout the child development years. Moving forward, we ensure that the child goes to an Anganwadi. She's taken care of by the family, her vaccinations, her health care, everything is, streamlined. And then she goes to school. We ensure that the child is enrolled in school, given equal opportunities at school. She's sent to primary school. Then her learning opportunities are taken care of. We ensure that the learning achievements are as per a requirement of the grade. Then we move on to her higher standards. So we also support schools for girl child education. We make inclusive schools where we ensure that teachers are trained enough to take care of this diversity and inclusivity. Moving forward, we skill not only the girls but also the women who have not been able to get into the stream of economy. So we do major skilling programs for women in their areas, and we take trades where whatever are suitable to those areas. It could be traditional trades, it could be market oriented trades like computers and sales and other domains, as well as traditional trades like weaving, cane making, baskets, embroidery, garment making, whatever skills are pertinent to the area, and also the indigenous skills which may be revoked and revamped in the area, so that we are also able to touch the dying arts, revive the dying arts. We have done in many areas. We made clusters of women who are now doing, say, Ari Zardozi work, or doing cane work, cane basket making, or rug making. These were some of the dying arts and crafts which we have been able to revive through that. Then we take care of the entire their health, and healthcare is very, very important for women because they don't go to hospitals themselves. Often they will, not even share the problem that they are having, but they keep caring for the family. That is again very, very important aspect. Then we also try to break barriers of their for their higher education, give them scholarships if required, make their families understand that they need to move out. I'll give you one example of a girl. The family was not allowing her to get into college, higher education. She was at home, she was very depressed, and the girl herself wanted to do so much. So we had a tough time engaging with the family, trying to convince them that she could do wonders for herself and for her family. It was a poor BPL family, nothing to eat, living in misery, but yet they would not allow the girl to go to another city to work. So we took her to work. We gave her a residential training of 3 months, and put her into job at Spencer's. The girl was called Nirasha by her family because she was born after two girls. That was the status of the family. But she worked hard and she was engaged. I think it's been now 3 years. She's a team leader. She's earning 40,000 per month, starting from 6,000 salary, and she handles a team of 25 persons in retail outlet. And now she's a role model for her village. When she goes back to her village, she is treated like a celebrity. And more girls want to come out looking at her. They approach us, they want us to take them forward. So these girls are now setting examples for themselves. They are becoming role models, and they are the ones who are now driving this journey with AROH. They are also bringing other girls forward. So it's a kind of approach that has given us a life cycle approach for women, where we help them, like I said, from womb to tomb, whatever their barriers are, whatever their difficulties are, at whatever stage of life they are, be it even domestic violence. If a 50-year-old woman is facing domestic violence, we are out there to help her. If there is any other medical problem in the family, or any other problem, a problem with the children, we counsel these women, we counsel the families, so that the idea is to make life easier for the women. We reduce drudgery in their lives, especially for agriculture. That most of the agriculture drudgery is held by women. Men would only go on a tractor and they will do the things, but the manual work, manual sowing, manual harvesting, everywhere women are engaged and not paid for. So we reduce those drudgeries by giving them small equipments, which they can work on. There are, I think, thousands of examples if I give you. And then there is another example when we approach them with a life cycle approach. We try to understand the barriers that they face. I'll give you an example of a remote area in Meghalaya, East Khasi Hills, where you might have heard that, Cherrapunji area, which is the highest rainfall area in India. But sadly, it's like, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Because the slopes of hill, the entire area is affected by surface runoff. They can't hold water. Government is not giving enough water. So I'm giving you this example how we break barriers for women to come up. When we started our interventions, we wanted to do skill development for women so that they can earn a bit and they can improve their incomes. But when we started our interventions, we found the attendance very thin. Women will not come for training. And we started looking at the problems and barriers. We found that the whole day they are busy fetching water, because there is no water for household chores, for making the food, for doing small domestic things. What they would do is they would go upstream, uphill, and then they will go downhill. There was a stream there. And in Meghalaya, they have those back tripods where they put in pictures of containers which can be used for fetching water. So they go down there, they'll take the water, then they lift it uphill again, come downhill where their village was or house was. And like that, they had to make 4 or 5 trips to fetch, say, about 20 liters of water. It was a big drudgery. It was a big wastage of time. They could not do anything, even at times, of summers, and where more water was needed and less was available. The entire family, the children would not go to school. They would be fetching only water. They will not bathe. The hygiene was an issue because there was no water. So that set us thinking that unless until we remove this barrier of access to water, we cannot do anything with this community. We cannot engage them in any meaningful or productive intervention. So we got the technical team to study what could be done, and we found that if we try to give a solar water pump which could lift this water from this stream, and we store this water on the hilltop, then we take this down by gravity on the other side of the hill, where these women will come and collect water. A common place we can make in the community. It was a small community of 100 households. So they will come and take water, which will majorly save their lives and time. So we did that. And that was a moment of liberation for these women. I can't tell you, I am sure they wouldn't have felt so happy getting independence. But that was a remarkable and, landmark change in their lives, where they could feel liberated that now they don't have to undergo that drudgery. And it was saving 4 to 5 hours of their time. Children started going to school, they started bathing, now they were keeping better health. Their hair started shining because they were not being washed for months. And women were free to take up the skill development courses and education. So that was a change we could bring in their lives, and similar change we have brought in many other villages. And then women were skilled. They were taught, jute bag making, which is jute is an area, is a product of Meghalaya and this part. So they could collect jute and make bags. They were taught basket making. They were taught honey beekeeping, because honey is another thing that these people take. So all the interventions which were indigenous to that area, women were trained in that, and today they are selling off. There is a retail outlet for them created, and their life has become much more easier and meaningful. So this is a kind of approach, life cycle approach, 360 degrees approach to remove barriers and empower them, equip them with opportunities and resources so that they can lead better life. So I can go on and on because I have so many examples that we can share. But I also have a visual movie to for that particular intervention that I'm talking about. If time permits, you can show that to the audience, which really shows the change which has been brought in the lives of these women. We call it parivartan or transformation. If there's anything more, I think we have helped more than 10 lakh women touch their lives in various ways, giving them the need-based interventions, whatever is suitable and meaningful for their lives. We try to evaluate, assess, and try to give them those interventions only which can help them uh, create better lives for themselves. So that's about the introductory thing that I could think of. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. That is so inspiring because I believe that foundations like RO and similar organizations help these women come forward and actually bring a change in the society, wherein not just they're helping the women, but also they're helping other people understand how important it is to uh, important it is for the society to allow every gender to come forward and work towards the betterment, right?
Sure.
So the the AROH's journey has been amazing, and I am very inspired by the work that you have done, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Right, so, ma'am, uh, there were a couple of questions, right?
Yeah.
So, the so my very first question to you is that the Sustainable Development Goals emphasize gender equality as both a goal and a means to achieve broader development. Could you elaborate on how the systematic mainstream of a gender perspective contributes to the attainment of multiple dimensions of sustainable development?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be encapsulated or summarized in just one line because women hold half the sky. It's half the population. So if you leave out half the population from all other goals, if you're not empowering gender, if you're not giving them equal opportunities, if you're not giving them education skills, especially required in today's world, then you are leaving that half the population out of development or half the population out of all other goals. They will, once they are empowered, they will be able to take up the requirements of other goals. If we call it educate, if we call goal 4, say quality education, if women don't come forward for education, obviously we cannot meet that goal. Similarly, if you are not empowering women to earn or create better livelihood options for themselves, or empower them for their economic growth, then this the other goals of zero poverty, zero hunger, you just cannot meet any other goal if you leave women out of this development process. So I think gender equality is of paramount importance. I think it's the only goal. Once we achieve this goal, women can drive the all other goals forward. They will make sure that everything else is achieved, and we have seen it in our own projects where we are empowering women as a cross-cutting theme across all our projects. And once we have empowered women, they are themselves taking the community forward in achieving all other goals. I'll just we also ARO has been awarded the UNGCNI award for the best practices to achieve all 17 goals, uh, SDGs. Why? Because we could address gender. We could address gender equality and remove gender discrimination in all other aspects of life, in their education, skill development, healthcare. Three major things we were following for women to break barriers for these three aspects in a woman's life, and we saw that they were participating in everything, be it clean energy, be it life on earth, even life on earth, doing pond rejuvenation, where we could save biodiversity. Uh, the turtles started coming back in the ponds. The ponds were totally dried up, and we women were motivated to restore a pond in their area. And once they did it, they were educated, they were allowed to do it. and we saw biodiversity coming back. The rare birds were coming back, which the villagers said they had never seen this bird in their village. The turtles were following back. Similarly, snakes, which were not seen in the villages. So I'm saying that once you empower women and you give them equal opportunities, equal resources, and freedom of choice, they will make sure that they go hand in hand with men, and they are able to work towards the achievement of all other goals. So it's the mother of all other goals, I think, gender equality.
Right. I completely agree with that statement, ma'am, that once we empower women and give them the independence, and once the gender equality SDG is achieved, it would surely or ultimately all the SDGs would be achieved.
Yes.
I completely agree with that statement, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you would be that uh, your dedication to gender equality spans over 2 decades. What are some pivotal shifts you have observed in attitudes, policies, or different societal norms related to women's participation in the economy? And what do you see as the most critical next steps in advancing this cause?
Yeah. See, over the past 20 years, definitely there have been major improvements. We have seen that women are coming forward in all spheres of lives. Thanks to our policy also, there is especially in India, we have a lot of favorable policies for women, for equal opportunities for women, especially in education. When we were in 2010, we brought out RTE, right to education for all, and it made compulsory and free education for all, and especially gender was included in that aspect. And all the girls started going to school. We have major, I think India leads in the enrollment ratio, where it's more than 100% the gross enrollment ratio. We have lesser dropouts now. Women literacy is slowly improving. If you talk about independence, where we had 12% literacy, to now I think it is 75% overall literacy, and women literacy has also jumped to 65%, more than 65%. So there the changes are pretty evident. And in urban areas, we see that even families and the mindsets are changing. Women are coming forward. They are treating both sons and daughters equally. And when you see the results, just now I was seeing the IAS results, top five toppers being women, girls. That will itself create role models, motivate families to educate girls, who will be lifting the families up, who will be really giving them that status that families yearn for more than boys. So the disparity is slowly, the gaps are closing, especially the mindset gaps which we were having in more in urban areas. But working in this field for the past 20 years, the change has been slow, but we still have pockets where people are not willing to change their mindsets. They still feel that girls have to get married. There's still a prevalence of child marriages. They think that if they don't get them married by 18 years of age, it'll be too late, and then the girls will become their decisions, and they will not be so submissive, so as to say. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. Then there are many communities where they don't want girls to have even cell phones. They think that it will give them a kind of जैसे बिगड़ जाना बोलते हैं हम हिंदी में. आई डोंट नो व्हाट्स द राइट वर्ड फॉर it in English, because that's a very typical Indian statement, that they will not be fit for a family life. They will have their own lives. They will have their own thinking. So they don't allow girls to watch more movies. While the boys go out and watch movies, they don't allow girls to go out more often. There are restrictions still in the families, and I also understand a bit of their mindset, because there could be safety issues for girls, safety and security being a major problem in India, especially in certain areas. So those are also real issues, and I think parents' concern is also quite valid in that sense. So we have a mixed kind of scenario happening in India, where people want to go out and seek development, participate in the process of development more than anything else. Girls, and they are also seeing that once the girls participate, how it just goes through sky, the development. So change is coming slowly when people are trying to understand. But I feel also, as you are asking me, what are the steps, what are the things that can be done to change? One thing is political will, I guess. We should have stricter laws, law enforcing agencies, where the safety and security of girls, if we can ensure that, workplace security, the general security on roads and on when they move out of the environment, the security of their environmental security, general security, and safety of in workplace and institutions where they are working, and even safety within their families. That is also another big issue. They don't feel safe, they don't feel secure. There is an issue of domestic violence. Many a times families only hold them tight. They don't allow them to work, they don't allow them to go out, they don't allow them to seek further education. There are a lot of hostility happening within the families also. So if we are able to create conducive environment for women everywhere, you know, right from their homes to their workplaces to the outside environment, and the government can enforce strict laws for violating, these safety norms for women. I think half of our battle would be won, and the parental mindset which seeks security for their girls would also change slowly. They want them to come out, but for certain reasons, they also hold them back. So one paramount is security for girls. Second, I guess, would be to give them access to equal opportunities, provide with means. We have created a primary school at every kilometer, but there is a middle school, say at 10 kilometer. So now the girl would go to primary school, but because of various barriers, they will not be able to go to the higher education, say middle school, or even higher schools are still further apart. There will be a school, say at 10 kilometer or 15 kilometers or something, where a girl child would find it difficult to reach out to those schools. So means of transports are not there, roads are not there. Again, safety security would be an issue for those girls. Parents will not allow them to go that far. So that's a major cause of dropouts. So we have to increase those means of transport, facilitate their travel or whatever, access to the education, access to workplace, access to the skill development if they have to do skilling for various job roles, because it's not at the doorstep. It's not in the village. It's not, nothing is available in their villages, or even at times, in their blocks or districts. They have to move out to get all those facilities for empowerment. So we have to see that all these things, all these facilities are available for our girls and women, so that they can access those opportunities and be equal to the boys. So these are two, I think, important things. And third, of course, which is inherent, that the level of confidence that we want in our girls, and freedom of choice. Oftentimes, the girls are bogged down by so many pressures, family pressure and societal pressure, that they themselves lose their confidence. And over a period of time, they have been subjugated, they have been oppressed, and so their confidence is always very low, their self esteem is low. You will see that the girls who are able to assert themselves, who are able to get that confidence, and they have sought their freedom of choice, they have snatched and grabbed their choices. They say that I had this choice, I want to make it. Then the families also have to relent and give way to their choice. So we want our girls also to, you know be firm with their choices, be firm, be confident of their path that they are choosing. That is what we have to work on. Hold the horns of the bull from both sides. They have to, the girls have to assert themselves. They have to also, be confident, and the families and systems and government, everyone has to, work from both sides to make it happen. It's a very difficult task. We have reached about 65% literacy for women. The last leg is very, very critical and tough, because now the tougher journey, low hanging fruits, we have already taken, reached 65% level. Now it's the regional disparities, the diversity, the other inclusivity, and those very hard to reach areas we have to capture. So it's a more difficult journey for everyone. So let us see. We are trying to address all these issues. Government is also trying, but I think more focus and more effort is required, certainly, to reach there.
Yes, ma'am, I truly believe that because all the strategies and solutions that you just mentioned, I believe that all of them somewhere or the other are interconnected with
Yes.
each other. Because ultimately, if policies are changed, uh, women will feel safer in the society, and it would ultimately give them a better option or a better chance to be firm with their decisions. And ultimately, it would also change people's mindset as well.
Yeah, so
So,
it's all kind of a cycle, vicious
yes, ma'am.
kind of circle. So if you get entangled with one part, you are not able to break free from from that circle. So I
Right.
think, let's see. We are hoping that slowly the change will come.
Right. Truly, ma'am, the change will come, ma'am, surely. Ma'am, my next question to you is, and I know that you've already answered this question multiple times through your other answers, but as the founder of this prestigious organization, you've been a key player in promoting gender equality from so many years. Could you share some specific strategies or initiatives your foundation has undertaken to address these issues of missing women in the Indian economy?
Yeah. So as I've already told you, we have only 18%, near about
Yes, ma'am.
18% women in Indian economy, though the 100% unpaid work is being done by women. If you call it agricultural economy or any other, healthcare or family care, old people's care, everything is being done by women, for which they are not paid for. Homemakers are there who work slog for 24 by 7, but the man goes and earns. So his contribution is counted, but a female's contribution, who has equally, contributed to the family, so that man can go out and work, taking care of the children, taking care of the household, creating, the environment that a man can go out. So obviously, the women are there. They are doing everything. They are participating in work rather more than men. They work, especially in agriculture. It's women who are get up at 4, they go to the fields, they do all the field work, and then they come back, they cook, and then they take care of the family. So, and men oftentimes you will see sitting under the tree, gossiping or playing cards after they come back from the field, but women then take care of the household. So I would say that their contribution is there, but not visible to the world. Silent, they we can call them silent workforce, because they are not earning through their work, and economy is not recognizing their work. So that is a major problem. So RO Foundation has been trying to get them into economic wing, or so as to say, the in the process of growth through our various programs. First of all, as I've told you, we are having a 360 degrees approach and a life cycle approach, which creates such women, creates such girls who are able to fend for themselves, who are able to seek justice for themselves, and who know what they have to do in life. Right from the beginning, if you give them good education, if you ensure that they are learning well, if you ensure that they are coming up as strong women, strong human beings, if you intervene at every part, every juncture of their lives, by telling them what to do, counseling with them, helping the parents rear better daughters, helping the mothers to bring up empowered daughters. That is one of the focus of our programs. You help the mothers, you teach them how to work on their daughters, and how to ensure that their daughters are well brought up. So these are the things that our foundation has been doing, and so far I think we have put at least 5 lakh women into the economy. We have skilled them, we have trained them, we have made them livelihood or employment ready, and they are seeking employment, they are working, and they have in fact uplifted their not only themselves but their families. So I think more than a lack of families have broken free of poverty with our efforts and with the efforts of those girls who have been trained and put into jobs or other financially paying vocations. So these are the efforts that we are constantly making, and livelihood and skill development and empowerment through skill development is one of the forte and major focus area of our foundation in whichever area we enter, whether through government schemes like Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, where we reach out to the remotest corners of India, as I gave you an example of the girl Nirasha who was brought out into the mainstream through our efforts. Similarly, there are many other more than a lakh of women and girls who have been brought out like that, who were not able to come out but through these programs. And now they are earning well for themselves, doing well. They have some of them have got married into good families, and literally their lives have changed. You have to see, look at them to feel and see how their lives have changed. So these are the efforts through skill development efforts and interventions which focus on livelihood, enhancing their livelihoods, giving them sustainable livelihoods through job creation, through self-employment, through businesses, through entrepreneurship. Through entrepreneurship, we are creating entrepreneurs. One of the girls has gone and secured 75 lakh from Shark Tank. She was trained by us to be a woman entrepreneur. Some of them have raised funds from state governments, 50 lakh from a state government. They have raised funds and grants for their enterprises, and they are doing extremely well. They have showcased their work in Dubai and even states. One of them went to Texas to showcase her work. So we are reaching out to women at every level, be it poor women in a remote area or a remote village of India like Meghalaya or Chhattisgarh or Bihar, or be it an urban city-bred girl who's looking out for entrepreneurship, wants to be there as an icon. She wants to have a tech startup. We have been focusing on a lot of tech startups. 300 women we have already supported for tech startups. So we are taking a whole spectrum of women to help them raise up themselves, uplift themselves, and some of them are now famous. In fact, one of them, our woman called Pallavi, she has just got a state level award in Bengal State Award to as a best woman entrepreneur, best woman startup in her state. So another one was has won a best woman startup in Meghalaya, and she has also received a land and a grant of 5 lakh. And now these women are our what should I say? They are creating a ripple effect because once you empower them, they give employment to other women. One women entrepreneur will give employment to at least 20, or some of them when they go up they might give employment to thousands. This is where the success lies. You you say na, jyot se jyot jagate chalo. So ek you light one lamp, it will light a million lamps. So this is what our effort is. You empower women and you empower them to empower others, so that a lamp which is lit here in my organization today is able to light million other lamps. We may not be able to track those lamps, how many, in further cascading down the line, how many are done. But it gives me a huge satisfaction to see some of these examples who have been doing extremely well for themselves, for their families, and for the country itself. So this is how we work on 360 degrees approach for women empowerment and for bringing them up in economy.
Right. Ma'am, any last remark or any last comment for all the attendees that are watching you and listening to you? Uh, anything for them?
Yes, I would say that women sometimes, we think organizations like ourselves, or even individuals like the women that we are helping, everybody will say, oh, what can we do? We are just a drop in the ocean. How can we bring the change? It's not possible. So to them, I'll always say, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are an ocean in the drop. So just be yourself, believe in yourself, go out, reach out for your dreams, seek your dreams, whether you are an organization or an individuals. Once you go out and demand, create for yourself, I think people will follow you. No, nothing is stopping you. No barriers, no government, nothing, no, not your family. I don't think there is any stoppage, any barrier for the women who want to go out and get it. So I would always tell everyone, go get it. Somewhere it's there for you.
Right, ma'am. That was such an inspiring and enlightening session, and I surely believe that all the attendees that are here, uh, uh, they must have been enlightened by whatever you have spoken today, and it must have given them the dedication, or uh, what we'll say, the power or the idea to how to change the society and bridge these societal gaps on the individual level, right? And ma'am, it's an honor to uh, have a chat with you and to hear your thoughts on such an interesting topic. uh, Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much, Harsh, and thanks Changemaker20 for having me here. It's been such a privilege, and pleasure is all mine. I'm thankful for sharing my thoughts here. Thankful to you.